right, here is our last set of slides, at least from the book. And it's just a little probability and statistics. Now, what should you know here? You should know that things occur on bell curves, or this kind of curve that we see here, where the majority are of whatever is going to be here, and it's going to be like an average. And then if something, a lot of things in nature occur this way, where you have this one thing occurring much more than all other things, but then you'll have some other things that occur, and they will be about at the same level, and they are going to occur evenly. There'll be like two of these occurring at the same secondary level. So here's the primary level, here's the secondary level, these two, and they'll be roughly equal in percentage. And then you'll drop down even more, and you'll end up with a tertiary level, the third level, and they will be much lower, but there will be two again at that level, two different groups at that level. And then finally you'll have a lower one, and there may even be more out here, but they will continuously be smaller and smaller, but they will occur in groups of two. There will only be one, though, in the middle. And if you have something as this shape that occurs like this, we generally call this a bell curve, and this is a common thing in nature. We see it a lot in naturally occurring things. Let's see. So these are called distributions, and there are many different shapes of distributions. But in general, in this class, we can just say it's a bell curve. But technically, we should call it a distribution. And probabilities, things that happen by chance, often occur with this kind of shape. And here's how you find the probability. It's really just the number of times an event occurs over the total number of possible outcomes. So how many different things can happen? Maybe there are 4, and this happened once, so therefore it's 25%. If it happened twice, that's 2 out of 4, that's 50%. So flipping a coin is a standard example, but so are traits. How do those chromosomes come together? We saw that you could have 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100% in our crosses that we did as worksheets. So those are your possible P numbers, the probability, and that's all we're doing. It's nothing extraordinary. All right, it's just calculating your P. Your probability is just the percentage of say how many big H, little h's, how many heterozygotes you got out of your Punnett square, and you could have gotten 1 through 4, and therefore your possible P's, your possible percentages, were 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%. So sample size helps because if you do this many times, you get better idea of what the possibilities are. This is true in any experiment. If you do the experiment many times, you reduce the error. And so you need to understand that. If I were to ask you a question here, what does increasing the sample size do? Well, it reduces error and it improves the accuracy. So the accuracy of your prediction improves, and it also reduces the amount of error. All right. And like I said, you should also know that larger samples, if we do the experiment many times and have lots of data, then we will have less error, all right, and more accuracy. So less error, more accuracy. And you have to use those terms. There is a difference between precision and accuracy. This one is accuracy. All right. Let's see. We kind of know this. I will leave you to read this. If you just do the Punnett squares, you will recognize this. And you can read this one. I will leave this to you as well. Predict the outcomes. Well, calculate the probabilities. How many big T's do we have? 25%. How many little t's? 25%. Here we have 50%. That's all we're doing here. All right, and we have already done this with our crosses, so there's not a big deal to learn here. There's not a lot to learn here. The main thing are some terms. Learn about sample size and what it gives you, and learn about curves, and that's about all there is. There are probably only 2 multiple choice questions out of this whole set of slides. So keep that in mind. This one was an easy one here at the end. And be ready for your exam. So here you have most of the information you'll need from the book, chapter 17, but there will also be, of course, you'll have to do crosses, and you'll have to watch my videos, which add a few other things beyond what I've put into these 7 sets of 7 videos on these 7 sets of slides on chapter 17. Okay,